Hello everyone, and welcome to part 2 of building complete mobile application tutorial. In this part, we will connect our application with an API service and bind the retrieved information with our user interface. So we will start connecting our application to a new service. I'll use the website called newsdata.io, in which you can easily create free account and you can get your API key directly after logging in. So I'll log in as I have account here, and let's see this website and see the documentation. First of all, you can go to the dashboard, and under the API key you can get your key to connect to the new service. And let's go to documentation, and inside documentation we will go to get latest news to see how we can request the latest news. We will use this request URL, which we have it will give us this response, and we have inside the results the main information we need to present inside our application. The information are under the result keyword. So we have the image URL, publication date, the country, category, and language, and of course the title. All are under the results. And we have a set of request parameters we can use. The main we will use in our application are the category, in which you can limit the search results to some categories, and also the language, in which you can get only news in the language you are selecting. There are too many other parameters. You can check it and use whatever you want. Let's go back and start connecting our application by going to data and then selecting REST API. I will add the source name, which will be news.io, with a short description. And the resource URL I will copy from the website. It will be this one. I'll copy this and then add the API key in the get collection. So in the resource URL I'll put this only, and let's save and go to the next step to configure the get collection. Let's remove this news and put it in the get collection request. Okay, here I will add the news and the API key as parameter. Don't forget to change the API key to your API key. And we will get the response inside the results. So I will put here the results as written in the response in the website. I'll add two query parameters, which are the language. I'll limit the results to be only the English language results. So this parameter will be a static, and the value is en, also as written in the documentation. I'll add another query parameter, which is the category. I see it's better to copy from the documentation, not to make any mistake in the syntax. So I'll copy this and add the key. And this one will be dynamic, not static, but I will add, and also is optional. I'll keep it as optional, but I will add a default category here to be the health. So when the user will open the application, they will see the health news first, and then they can change the category from the tab. Okay, let's test the connection, the category. So I'll select this category to test it. It should be the static test, and run the test and see the results. Oh, status error. Let's see what is the error here. Yes, I have problem here. I forgot to put the backslash after news. Let's test again. Okay, status okay. The connection succeeded, and you can see here the results. We have the information. Now we press the set schema from the result, in which we have now the result schema in our application. So it's very important to press this button and then go back to the application to start creating the data variable, which will get the data from the API. So I'll create a variable, data variable, which will be from type collection of data records. And here in the category, let's see what we can do. Okay, I'll put it as static test. As I said, when the user opens the application, it will give only the health news. I'll change the name of this data variable to new set. And let's go back to the user interface and start binding each of the items sorry, each of the items in the user interface with the data coming from the API. I'll make some changes here, as the result is limited to 10 articles only. So I'll present in the image slideshow the first 5 news articles, and in the second section in our application I'll present the next 5 news. So here I'll remove the repeat and make it static, so we will have from 1 to 5 here, from the first article till the 5th one in the image slideshow, and then we will have the next 5 articles will be presented in the next section. So here I'll change this to be static number. So this one should be 1, and I'll copy this formula and repeat it with the other dots. So the variable selected image we have will go from 1 to 5 only, and when the value of this variable is the same as the presented image, the dot will be empty circle, else will be a solid circle. Alright. Now let's connect the image. It will be the URL. I'll select it from the data variable. So it will be the data news set. It will select the selected image -1 dot image URL. That's it, image underscore URL. So the selected image will point to the image we want, and from the new set we will get the image URL to present. Just to ensure here that there is no problem in the syntax. Okay, let's save. And now let's connect the title, the same as we made with the image. So I'll go to data variables and select the title item, and also I will get the selected image -1. I forgot to add page vars dot selected image. You can see the example here, the results. And now we will calculate the publication date. How can we get this publication date to be presented as 2 hours ago or 15 minutes ago? We will use functions inside the date category, which is the date time difference. It gives us the difference in time between two dates. So I will use now, which give me the current date and time, and I'll see the difference between now and the publication date, which is coming from the news API inside the news set. So this will, I should add here the structure of the time I wanted. It is minutes or hours or something else. So I need it as minutes, and then I will add minutes ago. But if it's more than 60 minutes, I should put hours. So I will add if statement if the time is more than 60 minutes. So the sentence should be hours ago, not minutes ago, and the number should be presented as hours. So let's change this and add if statement. So if this is more than 59, So if it's 60, it will give us 1 hour ago. And the number should be in hours, else it should be in minutes if it's not more than 59. Okay, it's still in red. Let's see what's wrong here. Let's review this sentence. Okay, this is not wrong. Let's check this. The hours here is correct, I think. I should check again. So here I forgot the bracket. Okay. There's still some problem here. Okay, I have some mistakes. I made some mistakes in the brackets. Okay, and save. Just want to set the preview value to be text, not to present the whole formula above the image in the application. So the title is correct, and also I will set the preview value to be article title. And the image or URL. Okay, I'll add if statement here. If the image is not, sometimes the news has no image and it gives us a result as null. The image URL will give us as null value. So if the image URL is null, I will use a default image. Let's get the path of the default image. Okay, before that I will set the variable which is selected image. Let's add it, which will be 1 when opening the application, and then it will be changed automatically to 2, 3, 4, and 5 as we saw before in the image slideshow tutorial. So it will be added by 1 until 5, and after each step we will make a delay for 5 seconds. And then reset the variable again. So if this variable is less than 5, if it's less than 5, it will be added by 1. Else it will be go again to the first image. Let's save. And save our application. And ensure that these dots are correct. This should be linked to a static number. So when pressing the second tab, the second dot, it will go to the second image. And the same for the rest. So 3, 4, and last one is 5. See the first one? Okay. Let's save our application. And let's ensure the style is suitable. I'll make the title smaller to title S. And let's add an image if the image URL was null. So I will select this image. I will copy the URL for it from here, and then I will add if the news set image URL is null, for the selected image, so I'll use this default image. Otherwise it will use the image URL. Let's copy this and paste it here. And let's save. Let's save the application. Just last thing, maybe the first dot, I forgot to add a static number, which will be 1. Okay, the second one set to 2. So let's start testing our first section. Wow, we got the news from the API and this is the first title. We don't have image, and this is the second news, third one with an image, the last one, and it's working, but just we have some problems maybe in presenting the date, and the title is a little bit big. So let's go back and correct these things. Let's start by date formula and check what is the wrong here. Okay, I forgot to add minutes here. If the minutes are more than 59, so it will present hours. Otherwise, it will select minutes ago. Okay, let's save. Let's put the preview value. Save. Save the application and test again. Okay, now it's correct. And the title size is better. 43 minutes ago, 46 minutes ago. Perfect. Okay, let's start by the second section. It will be almost the same what we did for the first section in the image slideshow. I'll repeat the same steps in the second section. I'll copy the container, this article container. As I said, we will have 5 articles here because the response coming from the news API is limited to 10 results. So the first 5 ones are in the up section and the second 5 will be here. So for the image, I'll repeat the same. I'll put here the image URL for the news set number 6. Number 6 will be at the index 5 in the array, as the array starts from 0. And if the image URL is null, I will use a default image. Otherwise, it will be the image URL. I'll copy this and repeat it with other images. Let's set the text, the title of the article. And here will be the title. No need for the if statement here. And the date will be the same as the formula we used before. So I'll copy it and paste it here, just to change the item to be not the selected image, but it will be number 5. Let's save. and set the preview value. Now let's remove this and just copy the article container after setting all the items, and then we can change only the numbers from 5 to 6, 7, 8, 9. Sorry. So let's set the image. This will be number 6. Don't forget. I should change this to 7. Not only this, but all the numbers. And also this one to 8. And the last one will be 9. Let's repeat it for the title. This will be 8. And the last one is 9. And also let's go to date and change it accordingly. Yeah, let's set the preview value to date again. Seven. Save. Oops. Set the preview value again. And again and again. Just repeat. The last one. And save. Alright, it should be correct now. Let's save the application. And let's test it. Good. We have the news now presented correctly. And you can see here the image, the article titles are all presented in good way. You can change the design to better presentation. I think it's good now as we are learning. Now I want to use these tabs, so when the user presses one of these tabs, the category of news should be limited to the selected tab. So as we did before in the soft tabs tutorial, we will get the press tab ID by adding a page variable which will be an object with property value. The name will be selected tab. With a property value, and it will be from type text. And let's add another page variable in which I put all the list of categories here. And this is to bind each category with a number. So when the user press the first category, let's say all news, will be the ID for it will be 1, and then the politics will be 2, 3, 4, and so on. So the category list will be from type list of objects, and inside it we have, inside each object we will have a value, property, so this one is the object, which will be the category, and inside the category we have ID and another property, which will be the label. So let's add now the categories to the list. By pressing add value. The first one will be all news. Second one will be business. Number 3, politics. Number 4, technology. Number 5, science. No, in the label science and the ID. Number 5. We still have 2. Number 6 is sports. And the last one, 7, the entertainment. Alright, we have now the category list ready, and the selected tab object is also ready. Let's go back to the view and then receive the event when pressing the tab and connect it to the selected tab object. So now we get which tab was pressed by binding the value to the receive event and the event object. You can check the soft tabs video on my channel for more information on this. After we get the ID for the press tab, we will see the label bind to it, the corresponding label from the list we created. So I will go back and select the formula and I'll I'll select the page variable category list. Let's check the value. I'll get the label of this value. So this is the correct sentence, the correct statement for it. So I'll get the value -1 as the list is an array, starts from 0, and then let's save. So this will give me the label. Let's change this to be a number, not a text. So no need to parse the text to integer inside the formula. And before getting the after adding the set page variable, I will add an alert. So I'll check my formula if it's correct, and it's giving me the label of the category by setting an alert. So I'll test this, and pressing the business should be yes, it's giving me the title of the category, science. Okay, so let's go back, and now I will use the get record collection with the formula I used, which will go back to the API and request a new collection with a query parameter, which is the category. And then I'll change the data variable to the new result coming from the news API. So this will give me the new data variable. I'll set a data variable after getting the record collection. And here is a very important step, because when we created the data variable, we have here the default structure for the data variable, in which the data will be set automatically, will be refreshed after 5 seconds using this connector. So I deleted this, so not to refresh the data after 5 seconds. And you can check it now by pressing business. I'll get only the business news, politics. I'll get the politics only. That's perfect. Technology. It didn't change. It seems that the tech category is mistakenly written. Science is correct. Sports. We got sports news. And let's test the last one, the entertainment. I think it's completely, now you have the idea of how to connect with the REST API and how to change the request according to the selection of the user. I hope this tutorial was good and helpful, and we can meet again in next tutorials. Have a nice time.